Hello again everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I have finished the mission that I played for the demo for Wing Commander Victories 1940 to 1942. And if you've just watched the preceding video, you'll remember it was left on a bit of a cliffhanger. Both the Russians and the Germans had difficult choices that they had to make. Well, I played both sides as well as I could, see what the outcome would be, and it was a clear victory for the Germans. Despite their initial fumbling, they came back and were able to focus all their efforts on disrupting or shooting down the Russian bombers. From their perspective, they managed a victory by the narrowest of margins. They dispersed the first squadron of Russian bombers with very few casualties and were just about able to pounce on the second one before they conducted their strafing runs over the German positions. Um, the Russian fighters, I'm sorry to say, did not improve their situational awareness at all. The nominal escorts just carried on cruising at a higher altitude, imagining that their bombers were doing fine, which unfortunately they weren't. By the end of the scenario, the German planes were in a truly parlous state, desperately short of fuel, almost completely out of ammunition, but they had done their job and they did not lose a single aircraft. Russian losses in this mission totaled 8 aircraft destroyed, 2 aircraft damaged, all of them bombers, so I'm afraid the escorts really let them down this time. But the outcome was in doubt right until the final turn when the second wave of Soviet bombers made their attack run and bravely pressed it home despite the lack of fighter escorts. So what I've said about the sort of narrative that this game generates held true in this scenario. And although it was a clear German victory, it kept me on the edge of my seat right to the end. I'm just going to swing the camera over so you can see the wing display. I'm very sorry, the cat decided to intervene at the 11th hour and park his backside on it. So you can see the depleted ammunition of the German squadrons, the heavy losses suffered by the second Russian bomber squadron. And so it was a very tense game, and my experience of most of the missions that I've played from this game have been one of great tension. The scenarios are really well balanced, and even the asymmetric ones. So it may be a while before I revisit this game again because I've got a few others in the pipeline. But I am next going to look at a Mediterranean scenario that pits the Italian Air Force against some of the older British types. The Gladiator biplane fighters are going to have a bit of a go as they escort some Blenheim bombers from the RAF contingent in Greece during that very short-lived campaign. We'll see how that goes. My final thoughts are I still love this game. As I've alluded to in the previous videos, there are certain concepts that may be unfamiliar to people who are not used to rather heavy games, especially those involving air combat. And even experienced gamers might find that some of the newer approaches in this game might throw them initially. They certainly did me. But I would recommend persevering with this. Definitely give it a play. I don't think you'll be disappointed. From my first video, I've already mentioned that the components are absolutely top-notch, and I think this game is a thing of beauty. You are certainly not short on aircraft and combatants, bearing in mind that this is only the first in a series of games under this title. You have a plethora of aircraft. I'm sorry you can't see these very well through their little baggies, but every major combatant nation is represented in the first box. Various aircraft types, so you get to fly an awful lot. There is a huge amount of scope for creating your own missions, a bit of research into any given action, fairly basic publications. For example, there are so many books out there on the Battle of Britain that you can reference if you want to create a scenario yourself. It's very easily done. There are a huge range of ground and sea targets that you can either defend or bomb, whatever your preference. And of course, there are the aircraft data cards, which not only show you very specific aircraft types from different periods, and they give you their date of introduction, but also on the reverse, in addition to the potted history, you also get a list of variant types. So you can use that card, but if you want to slightly tweak the date of service, simply refer to the reverse. Will give you the rules updates to make that plane perform ever so slightly differently in the scenario you wish to create. And of course, either Board Game Geek and or GMT Games' own website carries new scenarios that are being generated. Even before you finish playing out what's already in the box, do check those out. Personally, I am saving my pennies up for Wing Leader Supremacy when that is reissued. I'm afraid it's out of print already, but apparently a new edition is in the works, so I'm keeping an eye out for that. But I think I've said enough about this game. Hopefully you'll give it a try. I really do hope you enjoy it. And look out for my next one. Do take care, and thank you for stopping by. Goodbye.